I tested the 4-2-3-1 for this weekend league. Quick team review, then show you the tactics I used and changes I made, then get into the rank 1 gameplay plus rewards, featuring a bit of yapping at the beginning of the gameplay to tell you guys my thoughts on the formation, some tips to succeed, as well as some pros and cons I noticed while using it. As for the team review, you can see we are set up in the 4-2-3-1 cam variation with Mbappe as the solo striker. As I mentioned before with Mbappe, the pace with that quick step, it's crazy. Exactly what you would expect from him. He leads the team at the front. His weak foot, bit better this week compared to last, and he is hard to push off the ball. Depending on your playstyle, you can look to put a pure finisher here in this position as they are the solo striker. But for me, I prefer to have more agile players while also still being quick. If they have 5-star, 5-star, that would be an even bigger bonus. Moving to the 3 cam spots. In the center, we have the guy Cruyff. He is just too consistent for me. He has silver passing traits, 5-star, 5-star, great on the ball, and reliable when it comes to finishing. Most people for this spot, I would recommend having someone with solid passing traits. Most often, you will typically see someone with gold incisive playing in the middle so that they can really facilitate in the attack. Moving to the outside cam spots, which in a sense here are like your wingers. Starting off with Neymar Evo on the left. This card is cracked for me. Neymar with rapid gold and quick step silver on top of his already very smooth dribbling makes him feel so much faster. I love having Neymar in the team. He is just so good on the ball. And for the other side, we have Felix. I keep telling you guys, this card feels so quick, paired with that 99 dribbling and solid traits. But the only downside, and I've been talking about this for the last few weekend leagues, it's really weird, and you're going to see it today. He misses some very easy chances, and I don't know why, because his finishing stats are not even bad. But in general, typically for these outside cam spots, you want players who are faster, so consider having someone with quick step or rapid if you can, alongside players who still are smooth on the ball so that they can create off the wing and with decent passing so that they can find those inside passes. I prefer to have right-footed players on the right and left-footed players on the left, especially for those crossbody shots, as well as if you Travella, then that's a bonus. For me, both my players here are 5-star, 5-star, so they can shoot on either foot, especially when I'm in and around the box. As a reminder though, if you are Travella spamming or just shooting Travellas, you can only Travella on your strong foot. Now, moving to the defensive midfielders. My boy Conte soon will be changed to the immortal Evo Conte, and I paired him up this week with Marquisio. I'm telling you guys, Conte wins the ball better than anyone. He's so agile, so good at winning possession. I love using him. His defensive positioning is just so crazy. Marquisio, with the passing play styles, is just really nice to have. 5-star, 5-star as well. Since I already have Conte as a more defensive option in the midfield, having someone better for facilitating a bit more and supporting the attack is nice to have here and brings a balance to the midfield. As for the back line, do we need to say anything here? We know Theo's Theo, although I am hearing allegations of people saying Theo fell off, which in my opinion, it's more due to the fact that Theo hasn't upgraded in a while and the attackers that we are facing keep improving. So maybe that's what people are noticing. As for the center backs, De Winter, great play styles, fast, reliable, probably staying in my team for a while. I got this Blanc last week, gave him a try. He was solid. got the job done for the most part. As you can see real quick too, these are the playstyles for the winner, in case I didn't show that. Moving on to Mycon. This dude has just been doing better and better for me as the time has gone on. I really, really like using him. Don't really have too much more to say about him. Solid, great right back. And moving on to goalies. I'm just not going to speak on goalies. I mean, he's untradeable, so I just put him in. He's all right. But goalies are goalies. We all have different experiences when it comes to them. Now, moving on to the tactics that I use. As we said, 4-2-3-1, the variation with the cams, we're using balanced build-up style as well as 7D depth. Moving on to the player roles. Need you guys to listen here. This is what I started with, but I did end up switching about halfway through, and I will show you here shortly what I switched to so you can try both out, as well as some other options for adjustments you can make. As you can see, we have Mbappe here on advanced forward, Cruyff, Neymar, Felix, all on shadow striker. Both of my defensive midfielders are on deep lying playmaker build-up, both fullbacks on fullback defend, center backs on defender defend, and our goalie was on goalkeeper plus plus. Feel free to switch this to sweeper keeper if you really want. But now listen, so this is a very standard normal setup you probably see all the time. Now, one of the first adjustments I ended up switching to and trying out was switching Conte to holding rather than deep lying. What this did was allowed him to help stop some of the counters and look for him to stay and try to cover and cut out the passes to the opposition's attacking mid rather than going up in the attack. As a result, Marquinhos would have to pick up some of the slack since Conte wasn't pushing up as far forward. But just a quick note, at times, don't get me wrong here, he can still be a recycle passing option even though he is on holding. But what I ended up trying out was I switched Marquinhos to roaming, and what this did was allowed him to drift all around the field, giving a passing option. And now I will say, when it comes to this roaming on the deep lying, you will notice at times he really is moving around. So he can end up all the way on the left side of the field, trying to show support to Neymar. If you don't want him drifting excessively, then you can just leave it on build-up. With roaming, they will end up wider at times to show for a pass, so feel free to try holding with just deep lying build-up next to it, or roaming, depending on what you're liking, especially if you do not like the deep lying playmaker with build-up on both. So there's 2-3 different variations right there in the midfield that you should give a try. See what fits your players, the way you play, and how the formation feels for you. A while back, I tried this formation and got rank 1 on one of my alt accounts. And I actually set it up at first, and this is a lot different than what I've been using recently, but I know a lot of people like this in mini formations, and what it is the center attacking mid. And make sure we mean the one literally in the center, because I know they all say cam, but specifically the one in the center on playmaker. Both of the DMs at the time, I believe I had on deep lying build-up, but the main focus here is the center attacking mid on playmaker. What this will do is this cam will look to be more of a passing option and facilitate. But in my opinion, shadow striker in the final third will always just be more involved, especially in the box, where playmaker I feel doesn't do that. So depending on your style of play and the player you're using here, you can decide between playmaker and shadow striker. And something to even consider is if you do use playmaker for the passing options here, then putting that one CDM on holding may really be fine, because this cam will be roaming around looking to receive the ball and facilitate while still having a second option from this other deep lying CDM. With probably could even switch this to build up instead of roaming at that point. So something to kind of play around with depending on the players you're using, your style of play. Those are a few different options you can definitely give a try. So I'm going to quickly put this back to deep lying build up because this is what I started with. Again, I did switch Conte to holding partway through, but something else you can definitely do here is don't be afraid to switch a fullback to go forward. If you are comfortable with it and want more attacking options going forward, you can consider using wingback with support. If you are really just want to go all out, feel free to attempt using attacking wingback. I would say if you're going to use attacking wingback specifically, then I would probably recommend using the attacking wingback on the side of the CDM that you have on holding if you choose to use the holding option. That's just my opinion, as you may want to have a little bit of support defensively against some of those counters if you're having issues. So if one CDM's back a little bit, that may help you there. As always, I do not play the 95 depth aggressive stuff that others do. So you can feel free, test it, give it a try. But personally, I prefer to manually press. I don't really use that stuff. But again, feel free to give it a try. That's just not for me. I think it's time to get into some gameplay. As I said before, I'm going to give my thoughts on the formation, some pros and cons, compare it to some other formations that I've recently been using. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying these all-in-one kind of format videos. Drop a like, sub if you're a real one, and now let's get into it. Game 1, we match a 4-4-2. We have some interesting games in the middle of our champs, and then we start flying at the end through the games, playing really well. The most common formation we match against today will be the 4-2-1-3, and that is actually a good thing because it is so common. We will see how this formation stands against it. Before I go into the pros and cons and a lot of the stuff you want to focus on while building up in this formation, I first want to call out and compare this to some of the other formations we have in the game, in my opinion. This is kind of the in-between of the 4-2-1-3 and the 4-2-3-1 wide variation, as the cams are not as high up the field as the wingers are in the 4-2-1-3, but also they do not come back as far as the outside mids do in the 4-2-3-1 wide. So I do want you to pay attention to where the outside cams are in the build-up, where they are positioning throughout the attack, and where they are receiving the ball. One of the first things I noticed about this formation is you kind of get that feeling of it being a 6-4, meaning 6 players are back defending and we have 4 attackers ready to go waiting for the ball. Yes, we have our defensive mid set to build up so they will join in the attack, but for me, I did get that feeling a bit, which I'm not a super huge fan of that style of play personally. The formation, it's not to the level of counter you may get in the 4-2-1-3, but it still has a great counter to it in my opinion. And honestly, in the 4-2-1-3, unless you are really smashing through balls so often to the wingers, I feel like you have a slight problem in that formation where the winger is just so far away, and oftentimes the opposing fullback can just intercept the pass if you try to play it to their feet, unless you're trying to call the winger back. Whereas in this 4-2-3-1, we're using here the cams, and they seem to be a bit better for build-up play and for receiving that outlet pass, as they are not excessively far up the pitch, which is something I really preferred about this formation. It allowed for me to have a bit of a balance between having a counter and having a normal build-up in my attacks, which is a nice balance to have. Sometimes you can get up the field, score within 2-3 quick passes, and at other times you can take your time, pick out a few extra passes together before finding the back of the net. The obvious thing with this formation, and a big pro, the people will really like about this formation, you have the 2 CDMs, similar to some of the other formations that we've been trying recently. If you are someone who struggles to defend, having 2 CDMs will be more beneficial to you, as they will come back deeper by themselves compared to when you are playing in center mid formations. If you're trying to press though, in my opinion, the center mid formations I think are a bit better for that. As a reminder, we are using our CDMs, or at least one of them, on deep lying build-up or possibly roaming to still get a bit of offensive support from the midfield, whereas others may use holding even on both to have that extra defensive security. That may cause you some issues if you're trying to attack, but definitely something you can try out if defending is a really large issue. For me, this formation, I feel like you want to be a bit careful of overextending your defensive midfielders, as your four attackers, they're not really going to show much support on defense for you. So you want to be careful to not overly drag out the players you have unless you are very comfortable with your player switching and covering gaps you may leave open, which this is another topic we'll discuss in a defending tutorial video more in depth. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of sitting back and waiting. I still extended my midfielders out trying to get the ball, force my opponent into decisions. So you can still do it. You can still definitely do it. I was doing it. But if you want to be safer, your best bet, probably, as I said, don't overextend, especially those two DMs out of position, unless you know you can win the ball or force a mistake. Now, when it comes to the build-up, one of the biggest things we are doing, and this is similar to some of the other formations we've discussed, is we need to focus on where our three attacking mids are positioning. So our outside attacking mids, they should give us great, viable passing options in the build-up for outlet passes from the back. We want to utilize these players similar to wingers or outside mids. These players will lead to creating a lot of chances and goals for us. Oftentimes, as I mentioned before, when we attack from one side, the opposite side attacking mid will be open for an extra pass. They'll run on the inside of the fullback. You play that pass, very easy chance for scoring. This is something we want to watch for and take advantage of. The center attacking mid, the one literally in the center, is very integral to the attack and build up for us. This attacking mid will be roaming around, looking to help get the ball up the field where they are connecting passes in the middle with the striker, or the inside cutting outside attacking mids are even drifting possibly wide at times. So you can pay attention for them in the middle, find the connecting passes, and what I was trying to say is sometimes they'll drift wide, give you a passing option, and maybe that outside attacking mid will go and switch spots with them or make that inside run. So it's a good balance. Just pay attention to it. You can even find the cam in behind unmarked, which you see this happen similarly in other formations, which leads to very easy chances. Now, in the buildup, I'm looking to ping the ball forward to one of the three attacking mids to get the attack moving, especially before my opponent has time to set up defending. This will be very beneficial for us as we will have space to work with. If we can find space with the outside attacking mids, especially if you can beat the fullback, then we will have time to decide between looking for an eventual cross-body shot or looking for an inside pass to one of the other three attackers. As a reminder, we have our CDMs coming up the field as a recycle passing option, so do not worry. We don't have to rush the attacks either. We can build up. We have lots of options, so do not be afraid to take your time and get those CDMs involved. The biggest thing I was doing in this formation was either winning the ball and immediately looking to just go forward and attack with the front four quickly and watching for a lot of the inside cutting runs. If possible, get the ball to the striker, let him turn, accelerate, as you will see me do many times, as people do not like to switch to their center backs a lot of the times. Another big thing, I'm not afraid to send players forward in the attack to create more space and create confusion to my opponent of what I was looking to do. So sometimes send a defensive mid on a run, one of the outside attacking mids, or even the striker. It leads to them watching that run, which leads to other players being open and space opening up for me. Just like most formations though, finding those inside passes is huge. Watching, especially where our three attacking mids are positioned, is just very important in this formation. Just want to reiterate that. So make sure you guys are really focusing on where they are standing. Overall, for me, when I defend, like I said earlier, I like to be more active. I don't really like sitting back waiting, but rather trying to player switch, win the ball, force my opponent into decisions, which is what I feel allows me to defend better. But for most, sitting back and letting those two defensive mids will really cause issues for most people when trying to attack against it. I do like the quick transition into attack from defense, as the outside attacking mids really support the cam and striker, which in some other formations sometimes the cam striker can feel a bit isolated. In this formation, I didn't really feel that way. I like the balance, being able to build up where I can go really fast, which is nice, and then sometimes take my time and create good passing. The more you use it, you'll get used to it. The player, where they stand, patterns to watch for. So you just got to give it a few games, give it a try. It is a very solid formation, and I can definitely see why people like to use it. I would say give it a try. Play around with some of the alterations of the formation to see what fits you best and try to get a feel to see if this is something that suits your style of play. For me, definitely a valid formation and get you results, but still not a huge fan of the split between my defense and offense. That's just not really the way I like to play the game. Hopefully, this explanation, some of the things I noticed, helps you out. Watching some of this gameplay shows you some of the ways I was scoring in it. I'm going to let you guys just move on to the live portion of the gameplay and rewards. You're about to see me take care of business, get a lot of quits here. We were cooking. Drop a like if you enjoyed this. It helps me out, lets me know that you guys like to see this kind of stuff. But now, enjoy the gameplay tunes and some rank 1 rewards. On Mbappe. Finally, she scores a. If nasty, I could have passed that too. Yes, Gabriel. Not a crazy team, but you might be correct. And now. Good to pass it to the left. Thanks. I don't know how I missed, but interesting rebound. Very interesting game. These low drivens are crazy. Here we go. Maldini. Oh man, he got Maldini. He got Maldini. Come on, Neymar. Corner. 47 plus 0. Doesn't like to switch players, and Felix missed again. Oh my god. So Blank trip Dunner. Howard in goal. Third Bombito. That cooked me one time. Interesting squad. Oh, see, bro, he misses so many easy chances. It's crazy. Mbappe. Nice. Finesse plus. That's what we needed. He's gone at 1-0. Oh my. 1-3. Go Mbappe. Mbappe. Wow. He's Cruyff. Let's go, Cruyff. He's gone. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Here we go. Here we go. 4, 2, 1, 3. Rodri, hold it. Come on, Mbappe. Mbappe. Let's go, Mbappe. GG. GG. Another rank 1 in the bag. Trying a new formation once again. What can I say? We're cooking. We're cooking. We are cooking. You guys missed me, so I came back. I realized that we didn't react to the rewards live because I'd opened them briefly quick off stream, and so I didn't have my camera out when I was opening these. You can see the first player pick. We take the 2 team of the weeks. We're praying. This promo, I don't know what it is. We're just waiting for team of the season, honestly. I think we're about a week and a half away, so just trying to make it there at this point. Again, you can see all golds here. We got 289s. Not bad for fodder. Moving on to the picks that matter. Please, no Nedved, no Blanc, no Zola, whatever they keep giving people. No Anger, however you say her name. As you're going to see here. Rooney, a little bit interesting. You're going to see here, I started looking at the card for a second. I didn't realize he has 5-star skills and he goes for almost like 400 or 500k. Would be a decent card to try out. I mean, finesse, low driven, press proven. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen anyone use Rooney? Have you tried Rooney? Anyone? Let me know what you guys think of him. I might have to give him a go, honestly. As for the second pick, please EA, just something that we can use, please. As you've seen with this promo, a lot of the cards from Team 1 just keep reappearing in these picks. It's just really not meant to be. I don't know what's going on with this promo. Del Piero doesn't look bad, but he's really cheap. Then I think it's Abilene, how you say it. Looks pretty crazy. I didn't open the other packs. I'm just saving them for tots. But I did open the icon pick. We get Kelly Smith in the first one. The second one, I handed the controller over to let somebody else open. another Del Piero, and we capped things off in the middle with Czech. I thought about taking him because it's just another goalie to switch between, but at the end of the day, all the goalies are goalies. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys like these, or if you want me to split things up between just formation video and then a video for just the rewards and gameplay. But for anyone that made it this far, I appreciate it. And as always, stay wiggly.